This man had to eat thousands of kilograms of food every day, yet he was never full because a gluttonous demon was living in his esophagus. Some rare medical conditions that modern science can't explain were, in the past, often believed to be the work of demons. In Russia, there was a mysterious hospital dedicated to fighting such supernatural phenomena, and that's where this story begins. November was the surgeon with the highest success rate in the hospital. Yet, during what should have been a routine procedure, an accident occurred. A large spider crawled slowly up his shoe, onto his surgical gown, and quickly made its way to Nov's shoulder. Sensing something was wrong, startled by the spider, he fumbled slightly with his surgical clamp, puncturing the patient's blood vessel. He immediately began emergency measures to repair the vessel. As he did, he saw the spider on the floor, stomped it dead, and demanded to know from the nurse who had cleaned the operating room that day. The nurse looked puzzled, but just as Nov lifted his foot to show the evidence, he noticed that both the spider and the blood on the floor had vanished. This bizarre scene left him frozen in place. The nurses looked equally bewildered. Suddenly, a loud, piercing noise assaulted his ears, giving him a splitting headache. Feeling something was terribly wrong, he hurriedly told his assistant to continue the surgery. Yet after washing his hands in the restroom, Nov collapsed to the floor without any warning. When he woke up, Nov went to get an MRI scan. The neurosurgeon discovered a tumor in his brain, an advanced tumor, already at stage 4. The fact that November could still move around energetically as if nothing was wrong was a miracle. At that point, however, he was only experiencing hallucinations, seeing all kinds of insects with no other symptoms, very different from typical tumors. When the doctor heard Nov describe his hallucinations, he suddenly asked if Nov had been hearing crawling sounds and made a few strange noises, the very same ones Nov often saw in his hallucinations. Nov stared in shock, but the doctor didn't elaborate. Instead, he recommended a private hospital that specialized in treating this kind of malignant tumor and suggested Nov seek treatment there. Back home, Nov tried to enjoy the last moments of his life, but the persistent rustling of insects crawling in his mind refused to let him rest. Even blasting his home speakers at full volume couldn't drown out the sounds. Frantically, Nov dug into his bag for medicine to ease the symptoms, only to find it all gone. Looking at the business card the doctor had given him, he decided to call the number anyway.